It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. About It's all about humanity. About humanity. About It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. About It's all about humanity. About humanity. About It's all about humanity.
Good morning, model citizens. Welcome to Humanity Junction. My name is Heath, and this is Hangout with Humanity. As you guys saw from the thumbnail, I've got internet installed down in the studio. I don't have a door. I don't have a lot of things, but I've got internet down there. So if you guys stick with me for a little bit, I thought we do a couple things. I'm going to look at the layout of the studio, maybe make some layout changes to the studio, and then in about an hour, I'm going to take a trip down there, and we'll see how that goes. That could be interesting. It might work well, or it might not work at all. So stick with me, and in about an hour or so, maybe we'll go down there and hopefully be able to show you a little tour of the new room that it's going to be. Let's see who's checking in with us today. We've got Lee from Anfield Road Layout and Loft. We got Opa Anthony Dodge, the model train outsider. Bernard C. said he's checking in while he can for a little bit. James from Boulder Creek Yard, just waking up out in the west. Chuck from CDP 1965. Chuck, I did get your email, and I appreciate that, and we're going to discuss it in 1 second. Colin Wykes is joining us as well, and Dave P., who was your host from last week. Hope everyone had a great show last week from DES Media Productions. Ian from Lehigh River Subdivision is here. Lauren Hurwitz joining us as well. Lynn McCurdy also from the West. Alan from Mason-Dixon Railroad. And Alan, I was almost going to get into that floor planner software that you showed on your previous video, and then I decided not to. So we're still using AnyRail 6 for my office layout design, but it's okay serving its purpose. Mr. Jimbo's Trains is here. Nisi J in the house. Norm Miller, your son is on his way back home. Randall Ellison's in the house. Roy Eltham joining us as well. Jason the Train Freak checking in, and we've got Train Fan 120. Train Fan, did you find any GG1s in your pile of goodies? Oh, I see Boulder Creek hasn't even had his coffee yet, which I know is interesting. Send me the floor plan. I'll work it up for you. I will do that if I can find your email. I will do that. Oh, train fan found a GG1. Let me know what's in there. I might be interested. But yeah, here's just if people are curious. Uh, this is what it looks like down there right now. Um, I have it pointed at the wall, but it's the camera down there is working. It's just a matter of whether I can get from here to there without any major problems. But before we look at that, let's take a look at the email that I was talking about from CDP. Yeah, Alan, if you email me, I can just reply back with an image that I'm going to show you in a second. But I'm also I'm gonna work up a little bit of a new image as well today that I can possibly send you. Ethan, welcome to the party. Hope you're doing well. We should see the invite link pop up in a little bit. I did see Stream Elements is posting here, or at least it's on. So hopefully, oh yeah, here it is. Join in on the live stream if people want to say hello. They can definitely do that. But let's talk about that email Chuck sent me. As people may know or may remember, I posted about this model railroad health challenge. So this is the link to the official rules, and I guess I should put that in the chat so people can see it if they want. Basically, health.humancity.org. So that should take you to this page. But what I want to show people is I do have the prizes on here, but what I've been doing is, and we're going to do this anonymously. So I'm going to post the results that I get anonymously up here. And if people want to send me updates, I'll update this as we go. So I got a couple updates from people already. Chuck sent me another email as well. John, there's officially no weight gain option as far as the prizes go. I had to figure something out when I was doing this, so I did it around basically BMI/weight loss. But join the party, join the fun. I mean, we've got if you look at person number 12, they're at 24.9, which is just there in the healthy range. And then we've got other people close to it, and we've got some people over it. But yeah, I'm gonna post this, but it is gonna be anonymous unless people. Yes, what basically one directional. This train's going in one direction. But join if you want to get healthier, and I mean it's just a chance for us to kind of do something together. And oh, that was a joke, Heath. I do not need to gain weight. There are some people that do. There was a joke that Split Rack 323 made the other day that if you look at a BMI chart, it goes from underweight to normal weight to overweight to obese to model railroader. Just sort of joking that as model railroaders, we tend to be more overweight. But Ethan, if you want to join, basically send me an email, and ideally you take a picture of yourself standing on a scale first thing in the morning, and you submit it to the Human City email. What we need is your weight and your height, because we're going to calculate it based off of whatever. My BMI is definitely model railroader. Let's see. I need to gain more model trains. Yes, I agree. Yeah, Joe Rader, if you can email it to me, that would be great. Just so that I can track it. Actually, 194. Yeah, I mean, if you know what the information is, just send it to me. The only reason for the picture is just, I mean, we're going by people's honesty, right? I mean, we're model railroaders. We're obviously honest people. So I don't, we're not worried about that. But yeah, send me the info. We've got 13 people in so far. Jason the Train Freak is in, and the way we've set it up with Jason is Jason has to win or Jason gets nothing. So that's the challenge. That's the challenge for Jason. Ethan, The link that is in the chat is coming from Stream Elements, and it's a Melon, MELONAPP.com link, and that's the link you're looking for, Ethan, to join. And when you see that, come up, that's the one you want. Let's see. Train fan. Well, Jason, once I get the photos, the train collection I'm selling off, I get you some more. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, Train fan bought a collection of trains, of which I believe some he's getting rid of. John Arthur, come on, join the fun. The water's not too cold. But yeah, I thought, it'll be fun. I'll be waiting at 1:70 if anybody wants to join me. Okay, show off. Ian's showing up, but Ian's still young too, Ian. I'm, talking smart. Just wait. Just wait till you get a little bit older and that number starts creeping up a little bit and you'll say, what happened? You'll be there soon enough. So, yeah, so that's the weight, not the weight. It's a weight loss challenge, but we're calling it the health challenge. It's more about being healthy. If you win either way. So, and it is anonymous, so you don't, So yeah, Lynn, I don't want the barrier to, I don't want there to be any barrier to entry. Because if people want to join, I want them to join. So if you can't get a photo, just submit it. Get a photo when you can. But yeah, and Boulder Creek's right. It hits you when you least expect it. Ian, I had a job back in my 30s as well that kept me nice and trim, and then I became a project manager, and now I sit in a chair more often. So it's gonna hit you, Ian. It's gonna hit you, and my girlfriend's staring at me. I'm in trouble.
Moving was important.
My girlfriend says moving's important. So, yeah, Nisi, welcome to join. The only thing is you can see on this list is BMI. So, I'm trying to make it as hard as possible for people to figure out who people are. Or I ask people, don't try and figure out who people are. It's by BMI, so it hides, there's no weight information. There's no height information or any of that kind of stuff. So, yes. My girlfriend's saying in the background, it's not about shaming people. It's just about getting healthier together. And I want it to be as inclusive as possible. So if you can't get a picture on the scale, just send me the info. Rick's sending me his information over chat. Rick, send me an email. Follow the instructions. Come on, Rick. Jason the Train Freak says, tell the girlfriend we all said hello. She's waving from the side. She's eating her homemade pickles. Yes, Nisi, I'm sure I lost a bit last week. I've seen what happens when our guys become general foremans. We call the pickup bods 3. I'm not 100% sure I understand, but I'm guessing it's, pickup bods because they sit in the pickups. I get you. Yeah, so let's get on to this next thing. And Alan, I saw your email. I will follow up. But so here's what I'm looking at for this room downstairs. And Alan, if you want to come up live and join me and build this live while I do it in AnyRail, if you want to come up live and do it, that'd be fun. Lynn McCurdy's waving back to the girlfriend. Bernard C says he'll take a pickle for a nickel. Wait, you wanted an email. Rick, for you again. Take a photo of yourself standing on the scale first thing in the morning and submit to Human City email. Thank you, Rick. Rick is a member of the Sidetrack Sunday crew. He is the 5th member, though. So we like to refer to him as the one that's usually left out. It only joins us when we have a 5th Sunday. But so sometimes Rick's a little behind. but you know, that's he'll catch up. He'll get there. Okay, let's go back to this. So these are two versions that I created a little bit earlier, and what's kind of happening is that I did that to start. Didn't know you needed it every time. Well, so if you want to update me, you don't need to send a photo every time to update me. I basically kind of want a photo for the beginning and a photo for the end. But along the way, if you want to send updates, you can just email me. You don't need to do anything else. So, John from Schuylkill River Valley checking in as well. Okay, so the room is about 8 foot by 9 foot. There's a window up on this top side here. So each of these are different versions. What I was thinking I eventually want to do is build a table that is kind of 67 inches by 32 inches. But with the price of wood and all that kind of stuff right now, and just the thought of building it right now, I didn't want to do that. I thought I could just set it up like this version on the left here. And what's nice about this version on the left is that, I'm just trying to make it a little bigger. Let's see. What's nice about this version on the left is I've already got these 2 foot by 4 foot tables. The problem with this version on the left is it only leaves 16.7 inches to get basically from the door to the other side of the room. And I didn't really like that. So I was trying to figure out what I can do to increase this width here, because I like the idea of having, you know, a wider space here, but also, also not spend the money right away on building something. I want to move in there. I want to get something set up so that I can kind of, play around. And yeah, Nisi, 16.7 inches will be rough. Just, and so here's the other thing, right? Yeah. So two things. Lumber prices are coming down. And I probably only need a couple 1x3s, right? So it wouldn't really be that expensive to build the table because these are all t-trak modules. So, it wouldn't be too bad to do. But I have the folding tables. So what I think I'm going to do for now, and this is what I'm going to sort of draw out today while everyone's watching, see if other people have other people might have suggestions. But as John Arthur says, his BMI is 16.7. So John's a little underweight apparently. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out these two blue ones. I'm going to close up the gap between the two, rotate it 90 so it's more like these guys. But then I'm going to use the 2 foot by 4 foot tables that I have. So I'll have basically a 4 foot by 4 foot box in the corner. So I'm hoping I'm left with like 30 inches here. So I won't have 48 and I won't have 16. I'm hoping I have 30 inches, and I'll go with something like that. So John's saying, "Oh no, definitely not." So you think you're not underweight, but your BMI is 16.7? So let me stop hiding that, and let's go to this one here, and here's AnyRail 6. So what I'm going to do in AnyRail 6, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save a new version. Because what I like to do is every time I create a new version, I save it as something new so that I can go back, and do stuff later. So I just save that as version 12. John, it's not that your jokes are going over my head. It's just that they're so terrible that, I'm just kidding. I get your jokes. I'm just playing dumb. Oh, and according to the Train Freak, any good jokes go over my head. So there you have it. John says he walked right into that one. And you did, John. You absolutely 100% did. So first thing I'm going to do is I've got everything set up in layers because as somebody who has learned from people that draft a lot better than I do, I learned that you want to create layers. So I'm going to remove the G scale, the HO scale, and the O scale, which were my overhead loops. Uh, I don't think the HO scale is going to be an overhead loop. I think it's just eventually going to be the O scale and the G scale as loops. It'll be about 10 feet off the ground, but I'll show you when we get down there. I'll explain that a little bit more. I think the HO, instead of being a loop overhead, I think it's just going to be on a shelf along the wall, and it's going to be more of like a shelf switching layout. Lehigh says there's no resistance to catch the jokes up there. I don't know if he's saying that in this area there's no resistance because there's nothing in my head, or if he's saying that once it's over my head there's no resistance. So Rick says, where will you keep your ladder? Great question. I am looking to buy a 6-foot ladder because a 6-foot ladder technically has a reach of 10 feet. So I will do the unsafe thing when I need to actually reach the ceiling, which is 11 feet, by standing on the do not stand level. The ladder, what I'm thinking the ladder is going to go is, so there's about 36 inches here because it's a 36-inch swing of a door. I'm probably going to put shelving here, and I'm probably going to put shelving here. So what I might do is the ladder will like lean up maybe against this wall so that like Tom's Trains and things and his if in his videos, if you see them lately, he's got a bunch of ladders behind him. So I thought, people like ladders. Or I may put it I like the idea of the desk being on an angle so that the camera shoots across and my background is the layout or this corner of the room. So I could also put the ladder back here in this corner. I did think of getting a telescoping ladder. The problem is the telescoping ladders are like 120, 140 bucks, and I could get a 6-foot ladder for like 70 bucks. So I have not seen Jawtooth's new video, actually. I am subscribed to him, but I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, I go back and forth as to whether I should just get a cheap 6-foot ladder and figure it out, or if I should just get, something else. And, as Rick points out, I can get a 6-foot, 300-pound ladder as opposed to a telescoping ladder. I spent most, there you go. I spend most of my day 70 feet off the ground, and a 6-foot ladder scares me. The boom trucks are a lot more stable sometimes, although have you ever been in a 165-foot bucket? Boy, that thing is scary. So what the ladder is for is, if you look at the drawing, when I turn on these O and G scale loops, these loops are going to be up near the ceiling. The full height of the space is about 10 feet, I think it is. Let me see. I can open up the drawing really quickly. I think. Sorry, I'm looking for the drawing that shows. Here we go. That shows the elevation. So let me just get out of this and we'll open this other drawing real quick. So you can see here, this is the elevation, 11 foot 2 3/4. So, yeah, it's for the height. I think technically it's the third dimension, not really the fourth dimension, but I don't know what's going to happen up there yet, Rick. I haven't really figured it out. Yeah. Jason, if it's cheap, send me a link because I'm looking for inexpensive. Yeah, so Ian, in New York City, one of the things that I used to do uh, is I worked for an LED display company, and some of the LED displays that we installed in Times Square were, the bottom was at 80 feet, the top was at 100 feet. So to get up there and get over stuff, the company that I worked for they had 85-foot booms as well, but they had 165 one as well, because sometimes you got to get up there. So my driving and trying to follow is my joke. That's too funny. Yeah, I it's a way to get more in there. So the other idea, so these loops will be across the top of the ceiling, and then the end scale layout, the plan is that it'll be at about 42 inches off the ground, I think. So then between the 10-foot high and the 4-foot high, I'm going to have a bunch of shelves. And on those shelves, I'm going to have the trolley track that's on my desk, which is currently this track here. I'm actually going to put it over here against this wall and just make it straight. I just realized I'm showing stuff, but I'm not actually sharing my screen, so that's doing absolutely no good. Um, so what's currently on my desk here is this right here that I'm moving now is the trolley track. So this trolley track is going to come off the desk and it's going to go on a shelf along the back wall here. So that's going to come basically off the desk. And the other thing that I'm not sure yet, but what I kind of want to be able to do is take, let's see if I can do this. What I kind of want to do is be able to take all of this as well and maybe put this on the shelf over here, so that the Z scale is also not on my desk, so that my desk space then becomes clear. Uh, yeah, Ian, I actually have some pretty cool time lapses from what's called the bow tie, which is where times the cross in the center of the bow tie is. I actually have some time lapses and stuff from up there. That's really it was a tough job because installing LED displays in the winter, climbing around is tough. So Lynn, this current chair is drawn at 27 by 27 inches, and I actually have the actual chair is like 24 by 24. I just drew it bigger just to kind of draw it bigger. Let me take a look. Let's copy this link in here. Let's paste this. Jason is sharing with me the folding ladder that he has. Oh, this one's not bad actually. Let me show everybody what I'm looking at here. Screen share, window. So yeah, this one's not bad at $104. And I wonder what's the difference between this one, 12.1 feet versus 12.5 feet. I don't understand the difference. But that's not bad actually, because if I fold it in half, it's basically my 6-foot ladder. But then if I do need to get higher, I've got that option as well. Joe, we're doing the health contest so that hopefully my butt is going to get smaller and not bigger. But yeah, this one's not bad. Maybe I will. I'm going to add this. Add this to my list, and people can see. So if people remember, I do have this Amazon wish list of things that I'm putting together. So I added the list there. Oh, and I can save $10, so it's actually only like $90. So yeah, so basically when people give me super chats and super stickers, or people can go right to Amazon and buy stuff. This is sort of a pared down list of stuff that I'm looking to get for the studio. So, like the ladder, air cleaner to limit some of the dust, some rags, just some fun signs. I've got you don't have to be crazy to work here. We will train you, which I just thought was sort of fun. Uh, a fan, some signs to put on the door so when I'm recording, just a couple little things, just if people wanted to support the channel, this way instead of giving super stickers or whatever. It's just some items that I'm hoping to get, for various different things. You know what I'm saying, right? Thank you, Mr. Train Freak. Starting off the ladder fund. I think I will look at getting this ladder instead of the other ladder. Oh, it's not going to come till July 23rd to 30th. I guess that's not too bad. Although it doesn't say what the shipping is. Oh, free delivery. Oh, so that's not bad. Yeah, so the idea is oh, and I just realized let's invite some of our friends up and then we'll get to some of this other stuff real quick. We've got James from Boulder Creek Yard working on his layout, and we've got Mark from Donegal Dad over in the UK. So
how's it going?
It's going fantastic. How are both of you doing?
All right.
I'm doing well, Heath. I'm actually in Ireland, not the UK.
Oh, I apologize. I knew that. I don't know why I forget that all the time.
And
You'd think with your accent I would I would know the difference by now, but what do you expect from me?
I'm actually in the museum here in Donegal Town. I'm just killing an hour while my daughter is over meeting some friends for her birthday. So if you want, I can give you a little tour around the railway museum here in Donegal Town.
Do you have a couple minutes to hang out? Because if you can hang out for a little bit, as I'm going downstairs, in about a half an hour, I'm gonna go to my other space, and it's gonna take me a couple minutes to get there. So if you're available to hang out for a little bit, maybe while I'm making the transition, that'd be a great thing to do.
Yeah, no problem, Heath.
Appreciate that. Got a couple of super chats coming in. Just want to thank a couple people. We got Roy Eltham with a $5 super chat, and we got Lynn McCurdy for the ladder. Ladders you can never have enough ladders. Ain't that the truth? The plan for the ladder was that I was gonna put the layout, this layout here, up at like 42 inches, so I can store a whole bunch of stuff underneath it. But let's get to making a couple of these changes real quick. So what I want to do is get rid of this guy, which didn't disappear. Why didn't it go away? What am I doing wrong? Oh, I see what's going on. So I need to disconnect this first. And once I make this change, basically we'll head downstairs and I can kind of show you guys around a little bit more. So let's disconnect that. And now it should... Oh, there we go. Got it to disappear. So we'll disconnect this as well. Oh, not that. Do a bunch of people here use AnyRail 6, or what do you guys use?
The one I use.
You use AnyRail 6 as well, James?
Yeah, I found it to be the easiest to figure out.
Yeah, I use AnyRail 6 as well. It's quite handy for figuring things out.
Yeah, and that's kind of that was kind of it as well. John Arthur uses AnyRail 6. AnyRail 6 to me seemed to be a good balance between like Third Planet, which I found very difficult to figure out, and like there's like the Atlas software, which is which is too simplistic in a way. And I think that I think Rail 6 is a good balance, and it's a decent price. And yeah, a lot of people use it. John from Schuylkill River Valley's using it. Jason the Train Freak's using it. Jason actually just did some layout videos where he showed the plan for his new layout as well. So let's move. Actually, let's move it this way. So there's the track, locking the track in. Let's see if I can do this without. Is it going to move everything? Yeah, it's going to move everything. So let's. I do wish I knew Rail 6 better than I do, but you know, for what I'm doing, it's okay.
So creating the like tables and stuff is always the most annoying part to me.
Always.
Because you have to like do it manually, or you have to kind of guess the dimensions almost, it seems.
Right. Like this is a table I created, which I'll get rid of now. But yeah, it's kind of this. Should get rid of all that. Let's just move these measurements out.
Yeah,
of the way
I
for
wish
now.
there was an option to go add surface 24 by 24 or.
So here's how I do it. Insert. Type in here. 24 by 24, and then when you click add surface, and then come. How do I do it? Nope, that's not how you do it. I do it this way. Sorry, add rectangle. I think. Yeah, there we go. So this is a 24 by 24 inch rectangle now. And then I make it a tabletop and a background.
Okay.
Which then drops it underneath. So that's how I do it.
That's much easier than using the surface option.
Yes.
Yes. That one
add surface is very hard to do. So let me actually add. I want to add actually two 24 by 48 inch rectangles because that's what size my tables are. So it'll be. Oh, interesting. Is that not going to be big enough? Huh. It looks like this is not going to work. Because if I they'll still, if you see that they still hang over too much on either end if I do it this way. That's a bummer. And if I turn these if I turn them 90, rotate, let's go 90. If I turn it 90, then I still kind of have that similar problem I had before where the table, sticks out too far in the room, which leads me back to just using well, see, this is kind of why I like laying stuff out like this, because I sort of discovered I got a little problem, basically. So basically, this doesn't really save me any space. Cutting the layout down, removing those pieces I removed. So the problem with the layout hanging over a little bit is that there are 4 adjustable feet in the corner of the t-trak modules. So in order to do that, that's kind of how you made it so they didn't hang over. So now this is showing 31. Oh, I see. Let's look at I'm going back to this other view for a second. Where is it? This one. So here, I just realized it's turned this way. So it's actually more than 4 feet away from the wall this way. Whereas if I turn this so that because right now there's about, an inch or so foot space in the center. Mike, the rail artist, joining the party. That extra space there is what's cutting off that space. But if I rotate it, mysteries, I tell you. Let's go back here. So let's actually do this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save this version. I'm going to go back and I'm going to open version 10, which is back to this here. And then I'm going to save this as version 13 to start over. And this is, when I design layouts and stuff like this, I just end up with so many versions, which just allows me to go back, and check stuff out. So here's version 13. I will show you too. This is another design. I think I showed this. One day, I just showed it, and I'm showing the screen. One day, I may go to something like this when I'm independently wealthy. I may try and do that. But okay, so let's go here for a second. So what we want to do is, I wish I had. See, and this is where I don't have. Yeah, I don't have a version. I don't have a version of it saved with it as a square. So I'm just gonna have to build that really quickly. Which, they definitely don't make this easy. Why won't it let me? Does anyone know? Is there a way to just disconnect these without having to disconnect each track separately? Or do I just literally have to go in and disconnect each track separately every time? That's really kind of annoying. Okay, so there's this one small module. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and put that in here. Connect. Disconnect. Move this over this way. Go. And then we're going to take just one at a time. Snap that in. We'll rotate that in 1 second. Select the track group, then select disconnect. Let me see if I can. I'll see if I can figure that out the next time I'm gonna do that. Rotate 90. I know there's so many tricks with AnyRail 6, which is one of the great things about it, but also
Definitely one of the more annoying things too.
yeah, it is what it is. It's fine. It's fine. I'll get there eventually. Oops. Not by doing that. That would be the wrong thing.
Infrequently, I have to relearn it every time.
Well, and that's it too, is I don't use it that often. So it's it's kind of a trial and error thing every time. And the other thing I always do is, I always grab things from other sections and move other things around. And like, what is this? I don't know what this is here. I don't know what that is. Like, I've got random things. So this will go here. Okay, so if I grab this and then I go to groups, I don't see a disconnect here. Track? Oh, there we go. Disconnect. That may have just worked. Hey, look at that. See that? We all learned something new today. Rotate 90. I'm going to throw this guy right here. Then I'm going to grab all of this. And we're going to Try and get it to clip in there. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted to happen. So now, what I think I'm going to do is delete this. We'll go back to inserting my tables, but I'm going to make them 48 by 24. 24. And we're going to add 2 of them. And we're going to make them tabletops and backgrounds. And am I missing like 6,000 comments in the chat? Give me graph paper. Yeah, I know. Where do you see that? Right here. Norman says, give me graph paper, pencil, and measuring tape, and I'm old school. Yeah, you know, what I like about this is how much more accurate it kind of turns out to be. So here's the one table. So this is where I think I may have the problem then, is the chair kind of then becomes a problem. But the good news is I now have my 30 inches. So what I could do would be to get like a bar stool or something instead of the chair. And then I'd have that as an option then. Oh, I just don't know. I don't know. Don't know what to do. Let's see. This slides out. I mean, the thing to do would be eventually just to build that table out, right? I mean, that's the real thing to do. Why can't I get this to one? I'm having trouble trying to drag it. So Nisi's asking, why isn't the desk straight against the wall? So the way my camera's pointing right now, if you notice, it kind of like shoots into this corner here. So what I want to do with the desk is, the desk is going to be on wheels. I already have wheels for the desk. And what I want to do is be able to have the train layout in the back room of the desk. So that's kind of the idea there, is that if I put the desk on an angle, then the camera shot, shooting me, kind of covers that. Now that said, I was talking earlier, let's see, I put this up here in this corner. So maybe this is on another little table up here. And then, yeah, I mean, I could just, straightening the desk, of course, does make more room for the chair. So it does make things a little better from that point of view, or at least keep it that way. And yeah, so right now the camera is angled. Yeah, I'm trying to plug a star into a triangle. Yeah, so kind of what's happening, these are just using tables that I have, and that's kind of where I want to start, is with just something that I have, not something I need to buy. And the desk is probably going to need to be away from the wall a little bit as well, just to get the monitor mounts and stuff back there, which is kind of another reason a little bit to have it angled, is that if I have it angled, I can have this one corner here against the wall and still have the monitors and the camera and stuff hanging off the back of the desk. Let me actually see something. Let me add a 24 by 24 square. Yeah, so the 24 by 24 square is the actual size of the office chair, I think. Let me, yeah. Okay. Actually, it looks like, yeah, it looks like it's about 24 inches back to front and like 28 inches wide with the handles. So, Lynn, I'm not going to use a flying crow folding chair. No. How much use will a chair really get? That's the other question is, if I'm in there for a long time, unfortunately, I think, I think it will get some, whatever. In a room that size, sometimes you got to go conventional. Yeah, I don't know. And like I showed, I wonder actually, do I have... Yeah, see, I don't have 48 inches here, so I couldn't get another table in there. And I probably would want to have shelving here anyway. I think to some extent this is definitely gonna take a little bit of just being in there and moving stuff around a little bit as well. It's a small room. It's definitely a small room. So if speaking of small rooms, if people are interested, what I will do is I will run downstairs. This is going to be interesting. While I run downstairs, Mark, if you would like to show people around a little bit, that would be awesome. And David Atkins, I'm late. Can you start again? I was late. What are the dimensions? Okay, so let's just go back to that really quickly. So the dimensions of this room are along the window and the door side. It's about 9 feet. And then the solid walls are about 8 feet across. The height of the space is 11 feet. So put the layout in the corner with the window and your desk in the corner with the layout. I thought about that as well. I actually have... Let me close this. And before I head downstairs, I will show... I'll show this picture. Here. So when I was initially doing this, I made a bunch of different versions of this with the layout in different orientations, with the desk in different orientations. And this top right one, it is definitely still an option. But I don't know why, for some reason, I think so part of the reason why I'm thinking that the desk wants to be near the window, not the layout, is that if I'm going to use the airbrush, I want the airbrush station to be over by the window. And if the layout's over by the window, it doesn't really give me room to set up the airbrush station and still kind of vent it, out the window. So that was kind of why I decided to put the desk over on the Windows side. And I guess the question is, Roy, like looking at these versions, which version would you go with? It's a little hard to see measurements here, but so this top right version here, with the way the layout is situated, there's 14 inches between the window and the layout. The layout should hang from the ceiling. I don't know if you were here, Norman, if I showed you, but my G scale and my O scale are gonna run around the ceiling. So there will be stuff up on the ceiling level. David Atkins, the current plan is to put everything on wheels. I do have wheels for the desk already, and the plan is to either build this long and narrow bench and put it on wheels, or secure these tables in a way that I could put the tables as well. Boulder Creek saying, learn from me, put a ramp in instead of relying on ballast to fill the hole. It gets expensive.
So yeah, I didn't put a ramp section right in here. I just put a ramp up above, and the track is pretty stiff, so it doesn't move or whatnot. But when you start pouring ballast in there, you start wasting a lot of ballast in that dead space under the track, because the track actually drops to foam level at this point.
So your yard tracks are at foam level, your main line's on cork bed, and you're basically bridging the
yeah.
thing,
And there was like a 3 or 4 inch gap in between where there was just dead space, and you start filling that in with ballast and it starts taking a lot, and you're running out, and you're like, this is getting expensive.
So Nisi's talking about a Murphy bed layout, and Norman's saying, if it's on the ceiling, it would allow storage underneath and also to swing up and out of the way. Part of the idea is that eventually I'm thinking of going to something. I'm waiting for it to open. The thought is I don't want to spend too much money on the initial getting the layout into the space, because eventually I'm thinking that I will do something like this, and I'll build the desk, kind of into the layout, and I'll build the work area into the layout, so that I have, my thought is that it'll be a point-to-point layout, so there'll be a yard on each end. But I'll have either a balloon loop or just a regular loop on either end, so that I can just run trains. So this is the goal. The long-term goal is to get to this, is to get to a custom designed layout in the room. There's a lot of stuff that I need to procure to get into the room initially, which is why initially I just need to go with what I have, and what I have are tables and t-trak modules. So I don't want to spend a lot of money on building something to hang from the ceiling, or doing a Murphy bed thing, or doing any of that kind of stuff until I'm ready to go more to to this sort of goal, this dream layout or whatever. So that's the idea, at least. But so and for whoever was asking, here's the loop showing the O and the G scale running around the top as well. So that's going to take some money to get that in as well. But why don't I go down there now? Oh, Jerry Satz is here. Hey, Jerry. Dave is here. I didn't say hello to you earlier, Dave, but I did see you. Mr. Jimbo Trains. We got a lot of people checking this out. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to put Mark in charge. Mark can show everybody the museum. If people don't know, Mark is kind of the curator of the Donegal Museum in Ireland, and he's done all of the the rail yards and stuff that they have there. So I'm going to drop myself out. I'll make Mark the big person, and hopefully, if everything goes well, I'll be back in about 3 minutes. If things don't go well, have a great day, everybody. And I'll see you later. But this should work. So it should all be okay. Mark. So I'll leave it in your hands with you and James, and I will see everybody again very shortly.
Okay then. Well, welcome everybody to the Railway Heritage Museum here in Donegal Town in northwest of Ireland. This is a museum dedicated to the railways we once had in this county. We had a total of 225 miles of 3-foot narrow gauge and about 40 miles of standard gauge, which in Ireland is 5'3". Here we have a map of the county. We are here in Donegal Town, and you can see we had quite an extensive network of railways, which had all completely closed down by 1965. So what we have over here is a model of Donegal Town, how it used to look over 60 years ago. This is the station house here, which actually now houses this museum. And we're actually stood in this part here at the moment, which at the time was the toilet block. When the museum moved in here in the early 90s, we put a roof over that section and it became our reception area. So I'll take you on a little walk around the museum, showing you some of the artifacts and explaining some of the history of the railways. Unfortunately, I'm on my phone, so I can't actually see the chat, so I won't be able to see any questions. So here's an original poster that would have been advertising the railways all over Ireland and England. This would have been a sort of Instagram of its day to advertise the wonderful scenery and everything we have here in Donegal to entice people to come and catch the train and come on holiday. What we have here is a recent acquisition from we got in the railway here. This is actually a miniature electric staff machine. This originally was on the Donegal line, the Letterkenny to Strabane line, and it was put into commission in 1908, and it was taken out of commission when one particular signal box closed in 1927. And one of the guys who worked on it, that railway, rescued it, had it in his possession. He unfortunately passed away last year, and his widow passed it on to us. So it would house miniature train staffs like this, which would control all the single line running that was on the Donegal Railway, because it was all single line. So if any of you aren't familiar with this, this was the staff that was used. It was given to the train driver to give him permission to use the line. You can just make out there, that's Glen McQuinn to Letterkenny. So that was the section of line it controlled. So if the train driver didn't have this in his possession, he wasn't allowed to go down the line. And unfortunately, there was an accident, which I don't know if you can just see that there. The goods train coming up from Ballyshannon did have the staff and had the right of way. The rail bus, for whatever reason, left the station here, met the steam engine on a curve. Neither train had time to stop, and the resulting collision killed 3 people. So that's some of the bad history of the railways, unfortunately. In the museum here, we got a lot of different bits of artifacts, pictures. There you can see the original crest.
You're muted, Heath.
We've got some.
I just realized I'm talking and I'm muted. Hey, Mark, I'm back. I appreciate you taking over for a little bit.
That's all right.
If you don't mind, I'll jump back in and
you carry on.
I'll show people around my new little office space. I hope people can hear me now. Maybe we'll find out. But yeah, I guess if you guys can hear me, everybody else can hear me as well. So I'll just keep talking, and we'll go from there. But this is the door to the room is going to look like this, and it'll have a window. And what I think I'm going to do in the window is I'll put my logo in the window, and I'll make it I'll backlight it. But right now, you can almost make it. It's just this wall. So this side of the wall isn't even finished yet. And they're basically working on the inside of the room. So there's the door. I guess I don't need to. So there's the door there. Let's put this down. So doors on this side. And you can even see on this webcam, right? Like I can't even get back far enough to like show you the whole door. Just to give you an idea of how small this room is. You know, and then over there is the window. And then, you know, here's the one solid wall. Obviously, this is the other solid wall. And then it does have a 11-foot high ceiling. So I've got a lot of wall space, which is kind of nice. The heater and everything is under the window, which is kind of the other reason not to necessarily put the layout over in this corner. Is the AC is up there and the heater's down there, so it would have a lot more temperature changes and stuff. Can you see out the window? Yes. Robert, yes, you are just in time for the tour. So this is on the second floor of the building, and it's summer now, so there's a lot of plants and stuff. So there's not much of a view right now because the trees are in the way. But in the winter, when all the leaves fall off, I can see the park across the street, which is kind of nice. So yeah, so the theory is that the desk would be in that corner there, and then I would be, you know, let's see if I can get this to stay, and then the layout and everything would be in this corner back here. You know, the layout would be here. I feel like I'm in prison. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put if people know Alpha, Alpha does closet stuff. You get it from like the Container Store. And the system that they use is you install a top track, and then everything hangs off of that top track. So what that's going to enable me to do is have lots of standards to build a bunch of shelves. And it's funny that David's saying that. I love to build an attic space. I was thinking about trying to find a way to do like a mushroom type layout in here, where like the computer and stuff would be on one level and everything else would be on a different level. Joe, unfortunately, they can't make the chair swing the other way. Let me see if I can show this clear enough or not. So here's my door, and just outside my door is this. There you go. Is this other door? So if my door swung out, it would swing out in front of that door, which is why they're having it swing in, which is a huge bummer. I would love it if it could swing out. The other reason it can't really swing out is ADA rules, is my understanding. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I haven't asked the question. Maybe I should just ask the question, whether it can be you know, moved or whatnot. Yeah, I mean, I would love it if it could be a slide door or something like that, but they want it to match. Like, they want all the doors to match, so it's got to look like the other doors. And you know, like if this was my own space, I would absolutely, you know, I would build things differently. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's any code reasons why the door couldn't swing out, except for the fact that it would smack into the other door. But if it opened, I don't know. It's an interesting question. Dave, great minds, right? Sliding barn door outside. Yeah, that would be awesome. If I could just do a sliding barn door on the outside, that would be awesome. I am a little concerned about security as well, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm going to try something else. I'm going to go sit outside, I think, or I'm going to go try and sit outside. We may lose connection, but one of the other things that I want to be able to do is to put the Wi-Fi access point in the window so that I can go, so I can run trains out in the park. So that's one thing that I'm hoping to be able to do. And let's see if is this open? This is open. So you can see the park now a little bit better. And I'm assuming people can still hear and see me. At least.
Yeah.
Actually, I have no idea if I'm frozen or what's going on.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I haven't really tested the Wi-Fi connection, but yeah. So this is my view outside the window is basically this.
Mesh router
and
with
yeah, so this is
battery ups.
Say that again, James.
Mesh router with like a battery ups on your, like whatever you're gonna use to take all the trains out there. It should still connect to your Wi-Fi in there. That could be a future upgrade. Is just a mesh network.
Yeah, I can definitely with my iPhone. I can get across the street and I can still connect to the Wi-Fi. So, Norman, it happens, but not interesting building. Not at all like I had envisioned. Yeah, this building's pretty cool. So my window for my office is that window there. But this window there is pretty cool. The glass in it. And the whole building is, you can't even see. The building goes way up there.
It's kind of like Art Deco-ish almost.
It is Art Deco, it was built in 1929.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
I know. I can't tell if you can see it, but that.
Oh, you're cutting out just a little bit. Oh, yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, this is the Upper West Side. I can't really make it out. This used to be a museum when it was first built. So it's got these big entry stairs. So my office is basically up top there, but it's got these big, huge entry stairs, that kind of take you up there. And this used to be just a big gallery, just sort of a big open space. And this front entry too used to be really cool. It used to actually have a rotating door, or what are those called? Revolving door. So this is new-ish. So that's the plan. If I had all the money in the world, there's definitely things I would try and make happen. But it's you might be reaching the limit of my Wi-Fi. Was I breaking up a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, it's because I'm moving around. I mean, when when I'm going to do an actual stream, I'll test it out. And I do have a smaller UPS that I can hook up a router to and that kind of thing. And, make sure I have a good connection. But yeah, let's see. If you had all the money, you could buy the building. Yeah, that would be nice. When I walk down so right now, the internet's hooked up in the office next to my office, and it's actually right behind. If you remember the blue windows that are up there, I've got it behind that window, but I can't open the window. So right now it's going through glass. When I get it set up in my space, I'll set it up so that I can open up the window so that it doesn't have to go through glass. And yeah, I appreciate that, Norm. It'll be an adventure, that's for sure. And what's going to be really great about it is having my own dedicated space, because, right now it's like I have to take everything down. I don't have a lot of space to work. So having that extra space to do stuff is definitely gonna make life easier to some extent. But were you there for a while, Jason? I didn't notice you down there. I'm on a much smaller screen right now.
Yeah, I can tell. No, I've been. You were still in the room when I joined back in.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's gonna be an adventure. I do think, as Norman said, I think I'll email the guy to see if the door can swing the other way. I mean, it can't hurt to ask, right? I mean, why not ask?
The worst he could say is no.
Exactly.
Yeah, unlikely to keep you out of the building.
No, so I'm ironically, literally, regularly, I don't know what the word is.
Literally.
I was on the board for about 2 years, and I still help out with the tech stuff in the building. So the super really likes me. So I can get away with a lot. But yeah, I bet Nisi says, I bet you can't wait to get in and get started. My girlfriend can't wait for me to get in and get started. That's for sure. What's frustrating a little bit, and this is just construction everywhere in general, but particularly here. Nisi wants to know if you're eating a salad, Jason.
No, I'm actually eating
Taco Bell. I was supposed to get into the space on June 1st, and then they needed to do a redraw because they wanted to cut down the costs. So they did a redraw, resubmitted to the DOB, waited for that to get approved. Once that got approved, then they said July 1st I should be able to get in, and then blah 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 blah. So it's been taking longer. Is the Norman No Rose asking, is that door to the office a heavy fire door type door for security reasons? Yes, it's going to be a steel metal door with fire foam insulation in it. So yes, it is going to be a fire door, which I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it can't swing in or out. I mean, can't hurt to ask, right? I mean, so one of the things that's happening is they thought I was going to be able to move in today. As you see, there's still no door there, and they were just painting this morning. The general contractor, the foreman's going to be there on Monday, and we're going to hang like the top track rail, and we're going to move the internet into the room and a couple other things like that. Once that happens, they're going to put a temporary door on. The other door is going to take like 8 weeks. They haven't even ordered it yet. So as far as security goes, there is just going to be a cheap temp door on it for a while. So I'm a little hesitant to move in, but I'll likely. I keep saying now. I was saying literally. Now I'm saying I know you don't know. I'm telling you. That's why. How do you know if I don't tell you? Yeah. So it's good. It's coming along. It's happening. There is a lot of work left to do, and the other thing, I'm hoping I have a job soon. And if I have a job soon, that's a whole nother set of factors that I'm going to need to consider in. So I am glad I got to show the space. I'm glad that it was in a good enough space to show it. Maybe one day it'll look as cool as the Donegal Museum in Ireland, but not yet. Any door can swing in or out. It's all about the jam and the moldings. Yeah, but I know, Norm, I know there's some code stuff as well too. There's fire code things and various stuff that. But I'm going to ask. I mean, I'm going to ask because being the office is so small. If the door will swing the other way, I don't know if they'll have to resubmit to get the door to swing the other way, because the DOB submissions are basically what the fire department gets. So if there's ever a fire, they pull the drawings from the DOB, and that's how they save people's lives. So if the door swings the wrong way based on what the drawings say.
Well, it would also depend on, if that door was to swing open in the event of a fire, is it going to be an obtrusion to anybody else getting past that door, to get to the steps?
Right. Yep. And so currently if you're inside the room, currently the hinges are set to be on the right, so that it swings in against the shorter wall. If it swung out with the hinges still on that same side, then that would be a problem, because then it would be swinging in front of the other office doors. But if it swung out in the other direction, then it wouldn't block anything, and I think it would actually be safer for me in the office, because it'll make it easier to get out. And if they're having the door made with the hinges on the side where it swings in, they could just mount the door the other way and it would swing out and be the right way. So theoretically, even if he already ordered the door, if they installed it as ordered to swing out instead of in, it should still be. It should still work. Yeah, and then if they did that, then I could put a duck under or a lift out bridge or whatever, and I could have the layout go all the way around the room, which would be amazing, and that would change everything. I would have to redraw everything. Yeah, the way doors swing, I know is a code thing. I just don't know what the code is.
Well, and it's different, everywhere you go.
Yeah, it used to. One thing I know is that, like, in the Northeast, or in the North, I should say, a lot of times the door has to swing in. The outer door has to swing in, because if a snow drifts up to the door, you won't be able to push the door open to get out. So you have to be able to open the door in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll send the email today and I'll ask.
Yeah, Norman's right. You definitely need to jump on that one ASAP.
Yeah. I guess it just sort of, this whole construction thing's just been taking so long. It's like I've just been so focused on just getting in there that it never occurred to me to ask, like, why can't the door swing out? And it likely is a code thing. It very likely is. But so I think it's time I wrap this up. I don't know about what everybody else thinks, but I need to get going with my day. get on to my next adventure, get on to emailing about the door. But I appreciate everybody being here, and I hope it was interesting to everybody else as well. And on that note, thank you to James and Mark and Jason for coming by and saying hello on screen. And thanks to everybody in the chat. And I will see everybody next time.
Oh, Heath,